Hey, shalom, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, all honors, praises, and glory belongs to Yahweh Shem, Yahweh Shai, which is my Lord and Savior. Just back at you with another quick hit. Envy not the oppressor. Key thing, make sure we're not envying the oppressor. Because when you envy the oppressor, what are you going to start doing? Go to Proverbs, Baba Kashar, Baba Kashar, Baba Kashar. Check this out. Proverbs 3:31. Envy not the oppressor. So who's your oppressor? Your enemy, right? And during slavery, you had the field Negro. The field Negro was trying to escape. He hated his oppression. He was trying to escape that oppression, right? When you had your house Negro, okay? That was all. You hungry, massa? I'm hungry, massa. You tired, massa? I'm tired, massa. You thirsty, massa? I'm thirsty, massa. Right? You in pain, massa? I'm in pain, massa. So the house Negro he was comfortable at living in the house with the oppressor, right? But the field Negro was trying to escape that captivity. So that we don't want to envy the ways of the wicked, of the oppressor, and choose none of his ways. Because guess what happens to our people when they envy the oppressor? They start acting like the oppressor. And that's why it said, Yahweh said in John 8:40, I think it's 44, ye of your father the devil, and the lusts of your father will ye do. He was a murderer from the beginning, and abode not in the truth, because there is no truth in him. When he speaketh of a lie, he speaketh of his own, for he is a liar and the father of it. So you do know in this particular chapter, he was speaking of wicked Jews that were acting like Esau, because they had the characteristics of Esau, of the devil, right? The same ones, slanderers, false witness. They were doing the same things to Yahweh Shai. That's why it says, envy not the oppressor, and choose none of his ways. Because what does Esau teach you up in these offices? Already within the world, all around. Now, you want to get that position, you have to step on him to get that position. All right? You want that raise, you have to do him over. That's what Esau teaches you. Esau teaches what the people want: capitalism, greed, lust, envy. This is what Esau pushes out. Okay? Go to Psalms, Baba Kashar 73. Truly. Right? Truly, the Most High is good to Israel. Even such a be of a clean heart. Yeah? But as for me, my feet were almost gone and my steps had well nigh slipped. For I was envious at the foolish. Right? And this is a Psalm of Asaph. Right? Songwriter, recorder. When I saw the prosperity of the wicked, he said he was envy. He was envious at the foolish. When I saw the prosperity of the wicked, I was at one time as well. But look, look how he's living. He's living in them high apartments, right? He's got the champagne. He's got the beautiful woman. He's got all of that. You know, once upon a time, I'm sure some of us were like that. You know, and you may have wanted those things too. When I saw the prosperity of the wicked, because within this world, who's really prospering like that? It's not that we can't prosper in the truth, but who's really prospering? It's the wicked. The wicked are prospering, right? Who runs the world today? What, the elite banking families? I don't even have to say their name. They're prospering. This is their heaven. For the wicked, this is their heaven. They're living good, all right? For there are no bands in their death. It seems like there's none. Because they have such a thing. They got generational wealth. Our people, they don't really have generational wealth like that. You look, these so-called white people, these elite banking firms, they have what? Generational what? Wealth. Right? The trust funds and all that. Okay? And it says, Baba Kasha, Baba Kasha. There are no bands in their death, but their strength is firm. Right? Their strength is very firm. Right? Very firm. These are what the elites. Right? And it says they are not in trouble as other men. They're not in trouble. Right, they're living good, they're living lavish. Propagated communities. Actually, no. Forget, not even a community. They have like a massive, if you actually type in there some of their homes, Waddison Manor is just one of them. We're talking about a massive field. Acres and acres and acres and acres and acres and acres. Maybe even miles of field they have, land. Right? For there are no bands in death, but their strength is firm. They are not in trouble as other men. They're not in trouble like us. Right? Neither are they plagued like other men. They're not under the plague's curses like us, but them curses are going to return upon them. Therefore, pride compasseth them about as a chain. Right? And what does a chain do? Cover your neck. So they're surrounded in pride. Because they've been living lavish for, some time now? 1400s? 1600s? Since the Renaissance, they've been living good. Right? Really good. Therefore, pride compasseth them as a chain. Violence covereth them as a garment. Right? Their eyes stand up with fatness. Right? So, they're very covetous. They want something, they get it. That's why they have mercenaries. Right? That's why they have mercenaries that they set up, they pay off to go into that land. Right? And it says, Baba Kasha. Therefore, pride compasseth them as a shame. Violence covered them as a garment. Because we know Esau is a violent man. And that's why when you go into the history of the Khazars, the Khazars, they were known for their army and their violence. Because when you talk about the Khazars are Edomites. Alright? And it says, Baba Kasha, they have more than a heart could wish. They are corrupt and speak wickedly concerning oppression. They speak loftily. So their conversation is basically on you tribes. And when they talk about oppression, they're talking about, well, they're lazy. They're lazy. They're lazy. They're useless. No. How can someone that built up your kingdom be lazy or useless? They built up your kingdom. Whether that was plucking cotton, that's hard work. Plucking cotton. That's not an easy task. Right? That's not an easy task. Okay? They are not in trouble as other men. The scriptures say it. Okay? And it says, Baba Kasha, Baba Kasha. Their eyes stand out with fatness. They have more than a heart could wish. Anything they want. I told you, they're living good. But we're not supposed to envy that. I was like that before waking up to the truth. I ain't gonna lie. Looking at the cars, and even that doesn't really bother me now. Someone could drive past me in a Ferrari. I won't even give it a look. I might give it one and I won't look up. It doesn't matter anymore. Or a Lamborghini or whatever. Right? And I kind of do want to tie this into the so-called gang. I don't want to talk about it too much. I do want to tie it in with the so-called gang stalking. I want to tie it in with that. Okay? And reason so, I want to tie it in with that because the gang stalkers are basically your sellouts. These are individuals that sold their soul. Not all of them, most of them. And that's why some of them are forced to do what they do. Right? I will say that again. That's why some of them are forced to do what they do. Because they sold up their soul. And if they don't do it, then their position gets taken from them. And they lose their wealth and it goes to somebody else that's willing to do that dirt. Right? So most of you are gangsters because they got nice cars. Because them cars were given to them. For whatever reason. Right? They are corrupt. And basically, it says they have more than the heart could wish. So they have anything. You know, if they want to go to, example, the elite say they want to go to Brazil. Let's go to Brazil right now. Or how long is that going to take? Would you get me there right now? Get that jet. We're going to go there right there. After that, we're going to go to London. Let's go to London right now. I don't want 15 minutes. Anything over 15 minutes when we get there, I'm going to sack you. Right? These are wealthy families. And there's many of them. Most of us just talk about the Rothschild. There's many other families. I'm not going to mention all their names because I know they're onto me as well, right? You think bro, the elites are watching your videos. They know who we are, right? They know who we are, right? You have the Collins, you have the DuPonts, you have the Gellys. There's several banking families. You have the Astors, right? DuPont, several families, right? They have more than the heart could wish. These are the wealthy families, not your Bill Gates, right? Not your Warren Buffett. But these are not the elites. They got chump change compared to the elites. That's chump change, right? But we're not supposed to envy them, because how did they get everything they got? Through wickedness. It wasn't by good means. All right. Verse 8, they are corrupt. The scripture says these individuals, they're corrupt. They speak wickedly concerning oppression. Oh, they're poor because you tell me, all right, yeah, like people just want to be poor. Like the people in the favelas in Brazil, like they just woke up, they decided to be poor. No. That was not a choice. That's why you got refugees, because they're fleeing to other lands to try and get work. And that's a common thing in Europe as well, in London. Right? I was watching the news on that as well. Right? Why do you think they're fleeing to Europe? Right? And that ties in with trafficking, the trafficking scandals, which a lot is coming out about that trafficking, because they're willing to work for less money, and still build up their economy. Right? When you had British, I remember a few years ago, you had the British, I hate this Polish, they're taking our jobs. Well, because they get paid less. They're willing to do the job what you do, but for less. That's why. That's why, because they're willing to do it for less. Okay? And they do a good job as well. Polish, Eastern Europeans, Estonians, right? And it says, Baba Kashar, they are corrupt, they speak wickedly concerning oppression. They speak loftily. They set their mouth against what? The heavens. These are what? The Edomites, their tongue walking throughout the earth. So they're setting their mouth against the heavens. They're speaking evil against Yahweh Shai. And guess what they're doing as well? They're trying to sick spirits upon us. Wicked spirits. Right? The elites are doing that. You know? Send this particular spirit to him. Who do you think's in control of the program? You do know it's not the military. It's not the military. Who's in control of the programs? The elites. Right? So, you may be thinking, well, why am I got put? It could be the elite that saw your video and said, put him on the program now. Right? The military don't control the program. They're told to follow you or to do this. The program is the elite's program. What's the program? What is the program? The program is the system. Right? That's the program. The program is the system. Who runs the system? The elites. So, yeah, it is difficult, because anybody could put you on a program. It just takes two people to come together and say, look, we want him on a program. It could be a family as well. Families do it. Various different reasons. But it's the elites. It's powerful people that can put you on the program. And it's different programs. Okay? So, we went to that Baba Kashar. And it's empowered, well, they like to say empowered individuals. Bro, please don't fall for the lies. Right? People that get put on this program, they're not stupid. These are not stupid people, right? These are not people that are useless, that are nothing of worth. These are people that are highly intelligent. And I've even seen an article with a contractor, a government contractor, even saying this himself. The reason why most people are put on the program because they're highly intelligent, right? And they don't follow the norms of what everybody else does. And they're independent. Well, Esau called it, they're independent, free thinkers, which I wouldn't call it that. My thinking comes from the scriptures, right? Or even someone that's Christian because they want to outlaw Christianity, they want to outlaw the Bible, right? Or someone else, I've heard as well, someone that's raising their, or someone that's raising their vibration. When you do these things, you become a threat to this society. But I want to stay on point. We're not supposed to envy the wicked. Okay? That's all. It says they set their mouth against the heavens, and their tongue walketh throughout the earth. Right? So they're walking about, right? Coming up against the Bible. Therefore his people return hither, and waters of a full cup are wrung out to them. And they say, how does the Most High know? Because the Most High is the creator of all things. That's how he knows. Okay? Behold, these are the ungodly. It says it. These are the ungodly. Who's are the ungodly? The elites. Edomites. I'm going to keep saying it. They're Edomites. They're not Europeans. They're Edomites. They're Esau. All right? And they don't want you to know that. They're hiding from their nationality. Right? They're Edomites. Okay? Behold, these are the ungodly which prosper in the world. So the ungodly are prospering in the world. So there's so much clues within these scriptures. This scriptures are like a jigsaw puzzle. Excuse me, that's my stomach. The scriptures are like a jigsaw puzzle. It says these are the ungodly that prosper in the world. So it's giving us a clear pattern of who's prospering. The ungodly. To prosper in Satan's world, you have to do odious sacrifices. The elites, you wouldn't believe what they do. There's one, I don't know if that video is still on there, that party, that Rothschild's party, right? And they had some dough on the table. They had roses around it, all types of madness, right? You know what they get up to, right? And they have an empty chair for. Who do you think that empty chair's for? Satan. And that's where they get their answers from. Yeah, bro, Satan speaks to them personally in that empty chair, right? So that's who they get their counsel off, okay? And that's the way they keep going, they keep flourishing, because they have to keep doing wicked sacrifices to Satan. That's how they stay afloat, right? All types of stuff, eating shit, necromancy, sleeping with dead corpses, like Aleister Crowley. He was doing all that. Satanism is basically Satanism, when you think about it, what is Satan? It's feeding your flesh, your lower nature. That's what Satanism is. That's what it is. And if you ain't doing those things, it's that you're seen as the bad guy because you don't want to do wickedness. Right? They don't want to tell you all this trafficking that's happening. Right? Trafficking children. Right? All over the gaff. And these workers. And you see a lot of them in London. Right? Working in brothels. Okay? And it says Baba Kasha, Baba Kasha. These increasing riches. So they're increasing. They're increasing. I forgot how much it was they get annually. They get millions annually from America. Israel gets millions annually from America. Because most people in America think those that are in Israel right now are the true Jews. They get millions annually for the Holocaust. You know that, right? I forgot the number. I forgot how much it was, but they get a lot. A lot. They're living good. Okay. But they hijacked our nationality. These are imposters. Right? Now, if you want to make it, well, you're going to have to go to find yourself a Jewish lad, right? And he might help you out with a few of his shekels. But really, the Jewish, they keep it, most of them keep it in-house. Most of the so-called Jewish, they keep it in the house. Just like with Elam, the Indians. They look after their own. They look out for, that's one thing with the Jewish, they look out for their own. Right? And that's who's calling the shots. Okay? Who do you think ran Death Row? Right? You know Death Row Records. Who do you think ran that? Huh? It was what? David Kenner. You do know David Kenner was a so-called Jewish. Right? Who ran NWA? Jerry Heller. And what's Jerry? Jerry is a so-called Jew. Right? So they're everywhere. Right? The earth, Job 9:24, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covered the face of the judges. If not, who and where is he? They were given that power. Right? And what's the other individual's name? I forgot his name. The one that bought brandy, and I forgot his name. His face is proper red. Shit, I forgot his name now. Right? But even the music industry, alright, to make it as simple as possible, your whole music industry, who do you think runs that? It's the elites. You want to be famous, they decide whether your song goes platinum or whether it doesn't. Whether it goes on air, whether it doesn't. They decide that. Right? Your movie stars, they decide who receives an Oscar, who don't. They control it lock, stock and barrel. They control your media, your BBC, your CNN, right? They control what food you eat, right? All of these things, right? They control even your petrol, your petroleum, right? They've cornered the market. And that's why I remember I used to play that game. I think, what was it? Monopoly. Right? A monopoly, that's what the elites have. They have a monopoly upon the world. That's what they have. And they've monopolized upon the world, everything. Because if you own the banks, well, that means you own the governments. I forgot that famous quote from that Rothschild. I don't care, just give me control of a nation's money, and I don't care who controls the governments. Because when you control a nation's money, you control the governments. So they even control the government. They're calling the shots. Right? So that's why I do see when certain people see me teaching, they say good luck. Because it's like, well, you do know what you're coming up against, right? You know what you're coming up against, right? Yeah, I do know. But it's not me. I'm not going to take down the elites. It's the word. It's the word that's taking them down. It's not me. And they're gonna do everything they can to hold on to this kingdom. Right? And again, I want to say this as well. You got these people, it's the same thing every day, and you get used to it. The people that want to go past you and so forth, that's just part of the targeting. That's part of the program. Right? It's just part of the program. Right? They need to do that because they're not any of the wise. They're not wise. Remember, this is a simulation. Well, who set up the simulation? The elites. The elites set up this simulation, and they use scientists to do that as well. Right? So everything can run a particular way. So society can seem like it's running a particular way. Right? They want you to see the same people every day. They want you to do that because they're trying to condition you. Right? Even when I was traveling today, I knew most of what I was seeing, all orchestrated, fake conversations. Right? They need you to recognize it. They need you to acknowledge it, because they think, oh well, that's that's not reality. Yeah, that's false. It's theatre. Right? It's theatre. Right? And that costs a lot of money. It takes a lot of time to do that. So they're not going to be able to do that for too long. Because when all hell breaks loose, you ain't gonna have time. Oh, let me just check on this person, that person. You ain't gonna have no time for that. So really, the gang stalking program, yes, guess what? That's gonna come to an end. Yeah. It's gonna implode upon itself. right? It's going to come to an end soon. But you need that because it is part of persecution as well. But it takes a lot of funding to do that. To get this person to go here, to say this, to go there. It takes a lot of funding. All right? But the elites, who would have enough funding to do that? It has to be the elite. Has to be elite. I know there's wealthy people. Right? But another times, somebody else came on my comment board and said it's just Masons hiring. It's Masons hiring other Masons. Yeah, it is Masons. They have a lot to do with it as well. But for it to be that orchestrated, come on. It's from a higher realm, right? And yes, there's demonic networks. Ephesians 6 and 11. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities and forces, cosmic forces in higher places. When you're thinking about cosmic forces, what do you think of as well? You think about satellites. You think about technology. You do know witches also use technology as well, right? You do know that, right? Alright, bro, I'm gonna be real. My father's house is completely tapped, right? My father's, I'm just gonna say straight through. Yeah, my father's house is completely tapped. I've got witches basically. Again, this is why you got to be careful what doors you open up, right? You got to be careful what doors you open up. I've got witches trying to, communicate with me in my own yard. Some say I'll get off it. They can do that. It's just cool. All you need is some type of signal, 5G, satellite, and certain devices in your household that you shouldn't really have in there. And if the witches, I don't know how, I never gave them no access. So if anybody did give them access, it was somebody else or one of your family members, because I never gave them no access at all. Because I'm making sure I keep all them doors closed. So how is a witch getting access to your premises? You tell me, unless someone gave them permission, right? Unless they give them permission. So if a witch has access to your household, yeah, they're able to do certain, it's simple as that. But it's not going to work with the elect. So you keep projecting them voices and the V2K, it's not going to do you too much good, because I know where it's coming from, right? And really it's coming from what? The spiritual realm, right? Because is there a connection with technology? You might as well go into it again. Is there a connection with technology? Yes. Well, who runs the tech programs? Who runs DARPA? Who runs NASA? And a lot of the gang stalkers as well, I noticed they wear NASA tops as well. Well, what's NASA? The space program. Why do they have a space program? Because they know Yahweh Shai is coming back, and they have Hubble, Hubble telescope? Massive, not these small telescopes that we have. Massive telescope, Hubble telescope program. Massive, and it's on a mountain in America. You telling me they don't see what's going on within the heavens? They see. There's things that they see, they're not telling you. They see the angels, they see the chariots. They see the planets, they see all these different things. It's just that they don't want you to see that. They're keeping you in the dark. But this is only given to the few initiated and the Masons. They get to see these particular things, but we see it, right? Where was I going with this? Yeah, technology, and it's linked to the spiritual realm. Yes, there's links to it, right? People, I see videos, I think it's interesting, these gang stalking videos, I've been watching a bunch of them. Now, V2K, they call it voice to skull technology, right? So they call it, right? I call it spiritual warfare, because there's a spirit attached to everything. Now, can Esau do that? Can he project voices through satellite systems? Yes, he can. Yes, he can. But what is it? What is it? That's a spirit, right? That's a spirit, right? Of cosmic forces, because we know Satan is the prince. Ephesians is the prince and power of the air. Of the air. So, if he's the prince and power of the air, he's able to what? Manipulate radio systems, right? He's able to do that, because it says he's the prince of the air. So he can do that, right? He can mess with the signals, right? Because this realm that we're living in, he has control over this realm. This is deeper than you think. I hope I'm not going too deep. I hope I'm not going too deep. And this is what I'm just learning recently. All right? Now, if you focus too much on the V2K and the energy weapons, then you're going to bug out. Right? That's the devil doing that to you. Right? Now, is he using people? Yeah. But it's the devil using people to do that. Right? Whether you want to call it DARPA, heart program. That's why it says in Ephesians 6:11, for we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities and spiritual wickedness in higher places. Where's the higher places? It's in the heavens, right? And what do you have in the heavens? You have a satellite. How do you think these videos broadcast? How are you able to broadcast? The only way you could broadcast something is if there's a satellite in the heavens, right? And that's how you're able to push up frequencies. And that's how East was able to push up frequencies. I know I should have been a scientist, didn't it? I should have got a job as a scientist, right? So this is why when people talk smack, or he ain't about, bro, I acknowledge I'm a very intelligent lad. It's just that I was, all these years, you may have been put down. Or he can't do this. No, you can do anything Yahweh Shai put the spirit on you to do, right? Don't let these people belittle you. And if you need to belittle someone, that shows you ain't shit. All right? If you need to belittle someone, that shows you ain't shit. All right? But again, there's yes, there's a connection between the spiritual realm and technology, right? And the physical realm as well. Because Esau's able to do that. Anything in the physical realm, he's able to do. But it starts in the spiritual first. Hope this is edifying. All the main points. Don't envy the wicked. Do not envy the wicked. Right? Yeah, it's highly advanced technology. But Yahushua going to put an end to that technology. Right? And they're going to try to war against him as well. Alright? So, let's see if there's anything else. Check this out, Proverbs. I'm just flying with the spirit. Proverbs 11:4. Go to 3. The integrity of the upright. We need to hold on to our integrity. Shall guide them. So that's going to be our guide. Right? And it says, but the perverseness of transgressors shall destroy them. That wickedness. These people are very perverse, twisted. Right? And they want to push that upon you. And just look how they're sexualizing the children as well. And they would even have part of the program. They would look, a lot of things they're doing it's off. It's off. Because they don't even call them children, they call them kids. Well, what's a kid? A kid goes into you know when you have an animal and the animal's just bored, they call it a kid. Right? And what did they do with kids, baby kids? Baby lambs. They sacrifice, they're what? Baby kids. So even the people that are having children, as soon as they're born into the world, it's like they're giving them over to what? Satan. You may not realize, but that's what most people do. Not all, most people do. That's what this is what goes on. Right? It's a sick society. From this program, I'm able to see all aspects of wickedness. All aspects. All right? And I don't need to go over it again because I've told you the marriageable age in the scriptures. I've already told you. I don't need to go over it again. And there ain't no brothers in the truth, right? Going out with little girls. There's no brothers in the truth doing that because they would have been arrested. And there's different laws in different countries. How old is it in Spain? I believe it's what? Is it 16 years old you can get married in Spain? So in different countries it varies. It's just we're living in a Western world, so you think, oh, that's strange, right? And the marriageable age within the scriptures, after she passes the flower of her age, right? And the reason why they would get married off so young, because now if you have a woman that she's now 20, 30 years old, by that time she's all used up. She's all used up. So no one's going to marry her. So that's why you would marry off your daughter from a young age. And a lot of these cultures do it. I've seen it on some programs. I think some gypsies do it. A lot of gypsies do that, right? These arranged marriages. That's a fact. Romanian gypsies, I've seen it, these programs. Right, they gather up, they got the horses there, the families there, and they marry off someone to their daughter who's acceptable for them, right? And who's going to look after them and provide for them. That's what they do, right? So don't give me that rubbish to the, oh no, that's against the law. That's against the law. No, it's not. Just we're living in this soft Western world. That's all it is. Okay? Because you would want to do that from a young age. Sell your daughter off to someone that's what? Has the money. And it wouldn't be to someone that's young, that's immature. It'd be to someone that's older. Even people get offended at that. Oh, no, see, that's not right. That's underage. Most of these women, they're married to someone that's what? 5 years older than them? 7 years older than them? Don't give me that rubbish. Don't give me that rubbish. You got people that want to twist our words and make it seem that we're we're out here or we're after little girls. Bro. There's handsome brothers in this truth, right? Right? There's handsome brothers in this truth. We don't have a problem trying to get women at all. So we just have to clear that up. Okay, but yeah, again, Esau, everything he does is perverse because he's a perverse man. And the perverse transgression shall destroy them. Riches profit not in the day of wrath. Right? So all these riches you have, it's not going to profit you in the time of that wrath. Right? And it says, but righteousness delivereth from death. That's what's going to deliver us from death. Righteousness. Okay? And it says, Baba Kishar, let me check if this is still running. Yeah, it's still running. Righteousness is going to deliver you from death. The righteous of the perfect shall direct his way. So we got to keep applying the law, statutes, and commandments to the best of our ability. That's what's going to direct us. Right? But the wicked shall fall by his own wickedness. So you're going to see gang stalkers and people that are highly compromised. They're going to fall by their own wickedness. All we got to do is stay out of the way, stay out of their way. Right? And that's it. And you're going to see this program fall. And eventually you're going to see them turn on each other. Right? Because most of them don't even really like each other anyway. Right? It's just a game that's being played. Okay? We just have to stay out of the way, teach the words, and watch the house of cards come falling and crumbling down. Alright? And it says, Baba Kishar, and the righteousness of the upright shall deliver them. That's why it's so important to be upright to the best of our ability and focus on your Hawashai. Yes, there's so much distractions. And as we get to the end, it's going to be more and more and more and more. It's all distractions. Just like today when I went to camp today. Most people, not all, most people that were sent out to me today, most of them are actors. They were told to say this, do this, sit here, stand there. Right? They were told to do that. There's only so long. There's only so long you can keep that up for. So long. Right? So long. Until these people get fed up. Because they're being used. What is this showing me? They're being used like a hole. Like a $5 hole. They're being used. Right? It's not nice. Well, I'm seeing grown men do it. People from all walks of life. Right? Are they forced to? In some instances, yeah. But some people are not forced to do it. This is what they choose to do. Because they gave themselves over to the left-hand side. Alright? So yeah, you're a target, but these people, they're targets, and they basically sold their soul to do that, to target you. Because you're less susceptible to the targeting. That's why. And that's why it seems unfair. It's like 100, hold on, that's like 100 people on one. It seems unfair, but you got to ask yourself, well, if that much people need to monitor you, then you must be powerful. Because if you were a whole-hearted criminal, then show me my records, because I know everything I have no what's it, convictions. I know my record, right? I got caught with some marijuana. What else? Was with someone that was breaking into a particular vehicle. I was there, right? And that's all that's on my record. That's all that's on my record, right? So if there's anything they're showing you, guess what? It's BS, and it's been added, and you can't do that because that's corrupt, right? That's fraudulent, right? You need proof. Show the evidence. Where you think whatever I'm doing is wrong, show me the evidence. If not, then you're just talking smack. Your government, they create the criminals, and they have the money to do that as well. And a lot of these people you keep hearing about it, they're shooting up schools, they're shooting up buildings. Why are they shooting up buildings? Why are these people just doing that? One day they just decide to get a gun and do that. Because they were put on this particular program. They were being harassed. That's what it was. Whether you want to call it MK Ultra or whatever, right? They were being harassed and they lost it. And that's what the program is meant for you to do. There's different programs, by the way. MK Ultra is one of them. The whole thing is to get you to lose your marbles. So you act out a character and now they can get you arrested. And that's what the devil's trying to do. The devil's trying to get you locked up, right? That's what he's trying to do. So now you got to be smart. And that's why you have people situated around you to do dumb shit. And you look at the behavior, it's not normal, bro. That's not normal behavior, the things that they're doing, right? Oh yeah, he's coming. Get this woman to bend over. Get all these women to bend over, right? Get this guy to pull out his rod and take a piss, right? Bro, that's not normal behavior. That's not normal behavior. That's fucking psychopathic, right? It's weirdo behavior, right? It shows you how psychotic society has become. So what I'm showing is these people, they're losing their principles for money. Oh yeah, stand over, just stand there, get his attention, and bend. Two women bend over in front of him. So that woman's just compromised her morals, just I don't know, for some money or whatever. Just to do that, you nasty whore, right? So maybe just. So let's go to Proverbs 11. Yeah, get your tits out in front of him, you nasty whore. Let's go to Proverbs 11. All right. Proverbs 11 and 6. The righteousness and the upright shall deliver them, but check this out: transgressors shall be taken in their own naughtiness. So these people, they're gonna be. They don't realize that. Oh, it's fun and games because there's some people that are not mentally strong, bro. They wouldn't be able to handle it, and they commit suicide, right? Because I understand why. Because they can't deal with it. Right? And it says, Abakashah, the righteousness of the upright shall deliver them, but transgressors shall be taken in their own naughtiness. So guess what? Yahweh Shai is going to take them in their own naughtiness. He's going to do that very soon. Right? Oh yeah, I'm still here. Okay. And when a wicked man dieth, his expectation, right? His expectation shall perish, and the hope of the unjust men perish. What's that going into? The NWO. So don't fret, right? Oh, they got wealth, they're able to do this. Don't fret, because they're really miserable. They have to follow you. Bro, you're their life. You're their payout. They have to follow you, right? They have to monitor you, right? Why? Well, you obviously have something that they want. Okay? Verse 7, when a wicked man dieth, right? His expectation shall perish, the righteous is delivered out of trouble. So, hey, we're going to be delivered. You have to believe in that. Hasn't Yahweh delivered us from every situation we've been in? He's going to deliver you, man. Right? Just believe that. Right? Don't worry about their demonic hand signs and their gestures and everything. Don't worry about what they're doing. Don't worry about it. And another thing as well, my advice to you that, all right, they're bugging your house, they can see what you're doing. That's another way to make you feel insecure, right? To act all funny. So what? Right? They want to watch you in your house, so let them watch you. Right? But see, that's some creepy shit they do. That's some perverse shit. Right? Watching another man or woman in his household. Or children. That's some creepy shit. Right? So these are like traffickers. Right? These are like all this stuff is happening. Right? All this, they have these little devices, right, in your households. Yeah, they're watching you. Right? But so what? Right? So what? And so flipping what if a man wants to, another thing as well. So what if a man wants to stay in his household for a whole day and study and work out? So what? What's that to you? Is he troubling anyone? No. So what's that to you? Why you have people walking around stalking other people? Well, what's that? What's that about? How are you gaining? How are you growing off doing that? You're focusing on somebody else's life. So these people, they're not progressing. Bro, that's not a life to live. You have to follow another individual around. So who's more valuable? The individual that's being followed around, or the individuals that are following that individual around? The righteous is delivered out of trouble. Bro, you ask me, people ask me, when is the program going to be over? It's going to be over when Yahweh wants it over. It's going to all fall. It's going to implode upon itself. Right? Tells us that in Mark, 4 or 3? If Satan's kingdom be divided against itself, he shall not stand, but he have an end. So it's divided. It's divided. These people, they're divided. Even within certain Mason, they're divided. Right? They're divided. Right? And now they're just looking for someone to use as a scapegoat. Bro, I ain't being your scapegoat. You better look for somebody else. Right? That's the Azazel spirit. Right? Because they have so much sins. Right? Now you're gonna have to pay for your sins. Okay? And it is the gang stalking stuff, it's demonic. Right? Because when you go into word stalk, it also goes into haunt. So they're trying to put spirits on you. Right? When you haunt something, you're trying to put spirits on that thing. Right? The righteous is delivered out of trouble, and the wicked cometh in his stead. So when the righteous are delivered, then that's where you have the wicked that are put in through money, and that's where you have the wheat and the tares. Because Esau has also what? He has the money and the funding to put in tares. The tares represent the wicked, and the wheat represent the desirables. Okay? Is there anything else? Baba Kashar? The righteous is delivered out of trouble, and the wicked cometh in his stead. The hypocrite with his mouth destroyeth his neighbor. And that's why they need to move in your environment, wherever you may live, and they need to spread slander. Bro, they're desperate. They're desperate. Right? They're getting really desperate. They've tried everything. Oh, well, when he comes into this store, would you just say this, please, please, please? And some people are getting slipped some money. They're getting desperate. All right? And it says, but through knowledge shall the just be delivered. Isaiah 33:6. And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy time. That's how you're going to be delivered. All right, trust in your house. Every situation you've been in, right, from this truth, have you been delivered? Yes. Some situations take longer than others. Okay. And that's it. Okay. That is it. They've been watching you for this long, and they haven't found nothing. They don't have. And you know another reason why they need to watch you, because within the Masonic fraternities, this is how they deal. They all have dirt on each other. This is how Masons deal. So within these organizations, they all have some type of form of dirt on each other. So another way of targeting is, well, we need to find some type of dirt. Bro, when was Yahweh Shai ever doing that? Yahweh Shai wasn't moving that way. And that's stupid anyway, because the scripture says, the elect are justified in Yahweh Shai. And that's why I can't stand all these little fraternities. It's rubbish. It's an illusion. right? All the triangles and the checkerboards and the hand signs, it's rubbish. We're going to shut off, right? When it go well with the righteous, the city rejoiceth. And when the wicked perish, there is a shouting of what joy. By the blessing of the upright, the city is exalted. By the blessing of the upright. So you could have an upright man within your city or your town, and he was going to bless it, but you're trying to do evil against him, right? And when the wicked perish, there is a shouting. By the blessing of the upright, the city is exalted, but it is overthrown by the mouth of the wicked. So it's wicked people, right, that will try to overthrow a city because of their wickedness. Here it is. Everything was peace. Everything was nice, peace, calm. Now you just have noise campaigns. A few years ago, everything was nice, right? Everything was bliss. Now you have noise campaigns. Now you have the jets in the sky, all types of stuff going on. Theatre. It wasn't like that before. That's because the wicked have infiltrated, right? They infiltrate societies, right? That's what the wicked do. They infiltrate societies, right? And they can do that. Why? Because the elites, they have enough money to do that as well. Set up shop, set up buildings, right? So the main point is, envy not the wicked. Envy not the wicked, or the prosperity of the wicked. Yeah, they have all these things, but remember, everything here is temporal. And the scriptures do say, somewhere in Corinthians, I think it's what, 2, somewhere in Corinthians, right? While we looked on the things that are seen, right? But on the things that are unseen. Because the things that are unseen, oh, come on. The things that are unseen, they're much more powerful than the things that are seen. Right? So that's what we're supposed to be focused on. Don't get all caught out here by the bright lights and so forth. And don't get all caught out here by that. The media, the television, the theatre. It's all a distraction. Okay? So with this, you know what? I really hope this was edifying. I'm kind of feeling like a snack. I need to eat something. I got some cherry wine. I got some cherry wine at the yard as well. Drink some wine. Nothing's wrong with that as well. Drinking a little bit of wine. And the scriptures do say drink some wine for stomach's sake. Right? So for the rest of the day, you know what? I'm just going to, relax. I don't want to continue to study because even the demons, they don't want you to study as well. Right? Oh, what's he doing? I'm studying. What can't I study? Right? The demons don't want you to be focused. We're nearly at the end of this thing. We need to continue to focus on Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Right? Focus on him. Right? And Yahweh Shai, look, he's coming back. And repent. That's another thing as well. I need to do that more as well. It's not one thing just waking up to the truth and saying, I've repented now. Repent every single day. Ask for mercy as well. Right? For your sins. Because we've committed sin. Ask for mercy. And for those that you've trespassed against. Right? If you're in a gang life, you've probably done people harm. Right? If you were robbing people, well, pray over that. Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shem, forgive me. I've robbed this individual, that individual. Pray over that. And ask for forgiveness. Right? Ask for forgiveness of these things. And Yahweh Shem will forgive you. Any sin can be forgiven except the blasphemy of the Holy Spirit. Any other sin can be forgiven. So with this, I hope this was edifying, man. And none to the next time. Shalom. Shalom.